I am here with my dear friend Buzz the Bee from Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. You are going to want to keep a close eye on the weather today, am I right? And let me tell you, it's time now for your local weather report, brought to you by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Let's buzz on over to the Main Street Media TV Weather Center.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Good Thursday morning. I'm Kelly Rawson in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. It is a little chilly for this morning. You're going to need a jacket early on, but for the afternoon, you'll likely be sweating. We're starting off in the 50s for this morning. We'll see a mixture of sunshine and clouds for today, but we do stay dry as temperatures warm up into the lower 80s for southern middle Tennessee. And the dry conditions will continue for the rest of this evening. Going to be a very comfortable evening at that. Temperatures falling back into the 60s and 50s. And then for your Friday, maybe a few thunder showers by the afternoon, but moisture will not be very ample. For the weekend, we are going to be a little warm. Temperatures in the lower to mid 80s for southern middle Tennessee, but for Saturday and Sunday, expect dry conditions with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures will cool off heading into Monday of next week. You will notice that difference of about 10 degrees between Sunday afternoon and Monday afternoon.
Thank you for that update. Tune in each day on Mornings on Main Street for an up-to-date weather report brought to you by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. All of their contact information is below. Have a great day.
Good morning, Stefanie.
Good morning. Hi, kids. Hot tea.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. I really am so happy that you stopped by our show today, and I say that because we're back here at Impact Martial Arts and Self-Defense Academy. We introduced you to the business yesterday, talking about the classes offered here, and even introduced you to a family and a beautiful young woman who's taking classes here at Impact Martial Arts. They shared some of their story. Well, today, one of the owners is going to talk with us about some self-defense moves. Righteous Stevenson is going to be with us when we come back here to Mornings on Main Street to walk us through a few defense moves that could be helpful, and also shares with us why we may want to take part in a self-defense class. But first, let's get a check of our headlines.
Hello, here's the latest news and weather from Main Street Media TV. The Tennessee Department of Transportation will conduct lane closures on I-40 westbound in Davidson County, including a temporary shutdown of the ramp to I-65 southbound for bridge repair and deck replacement. A woman in active labor on Interstate 40 gave birth to her baby with assistance from Dixon Police Department Officer Dylan Larson before emergency medical services arrived. Gallatin City Engineer Nick Tuttle presents an updated traffic calming policy to the City Council, proposing safer and more efficient traffic control, discouraging through traffic in residential areas, and reducing required neighborhood approval for traffic measures from 85% to 66%. On September 26th, a teenager was rescued by the Murray County Fire Department after falling down an embankment near the Duck River while fishing, sustaining serious injuries. Historic downtown Pulaski Square will host a holiday ice skating rink, open daily from December 5th for 4 weeks, with proceeds supporting local nonprofits. For more news and weather, visit us online at mainstreetmediatn.com. Thanks for watching.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door, that starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. So yesterday you learned about Impact Martial Arts and Self-Defense Academy. Well, today we're going to go over some of the moves and really talk on and touch on how important self-defense can be for all of us. To help us with that, we have Righteous Stevenson with us once again, one of the owners here at Impact Martial Arts. First off, thank you for your time again.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So how important is self-defense? Like when you have people come in, I mean, what do you stress to them when it comes to the knowledge of moves to help protect oneself?
Like one thing we talk about in the beginning of our class, especially when students are coming in for the first time, is the level of confidence that is required in the mental aspects of self-defense. A lot of times they get out here and they see the moves, they go, hey, I don't know if I can do that. One of the main things we cultivate is that mindset of where if I get attacked, that it's a term of give more than you take. Where if you attack me, it's not going to be a free lunch. You better pack your lunch and be ready to fight, kind of from there.
Gotcha. Okay, and then so what's the first few moves that you discuss when people come in?
First thing we deal with is our fighting stance.
Okay.
So predominantly, I call that your armor, is where everything is based upon. If your armor is compromised or your fighting stance isn't set, you can't move, you can't punch, you can't kick, you can't be ready for the most part to defend yourself in general.
So again, like I said yesterday, we learned about the business here at Impact Martial Arts, and you got to see some of the participants here in class. You got to hear from them and why they're taking classes here. So today, we're really going to go through the moves, and you're going to instruct me and share with all of us some of the moves that people would be learning in a self-defense class.
Right, awesome.
Okay.
All right, so first thing we're gonna do is our fighting stance. So I want my left foot out, kind of facing my target, my back foot to be out, and then I want my legs to be bent. We call these loaded legs. First thing that comes to mind as I think about is the old fighting games we grew up as a kid, Mortal Kombat, how they're in that stance and they're kind of ready and fighting from there.
Okay.
From here, I want my shoulders slightly bladed, then I want my hands up out in front of my face.
What is bladed?
So like here, my shoulders are square facing my opponent. When I blade, I'm gonna take my right shoulder and pull it back a little bit of an angle, just like that there. Then my hands are gonna be up in front of my face, elbows are in tight.
Okay.
So what this does is give me the ability, if something is coming in my direction, whether it's a punch, whether it's a stick, doesn't matter, any object, I can get my hands up and start protecting my face. And then with this stance, I can now move forward, I can move backwards, and I can get ready to start defending myself from there.
Got it. Okay. And then after that?
All right, so from here, we're gonna start with just some basic strikes, and then I'm gonna get into what we call keeping distance 4.
Okay.
So from here, when I start off, and this comes to the concept of if you cannot fight, you cannot defend yourself. Like life isn't like the movies where it's, one easy button, you hit this pressure point, push this, push that, and they just fall. That's not real.
If only it was that easy.
If only. So from here, I'm gonna keep my left arm low, I'm gonna make this tight fist, and I'll bring my arm straight out, keep my elbow low, and then twist at the end, leaning forward, pushing that shoulder all the way forward, and then coming right back in nice and tight.
Okay.
So what this does, one, I'm allowed to strike from my left side, and also this works on keeping good distance between me and my attacker. Something we talk about in class a lot is pushing this shoulder all the way out. So let me show you something here. So keep your shoulder square.
Okay.
And then just hold your arm out here. Good. Now, see how far you can reach? Now, push your left shoulder forward. Those 4 or 5 inches is usually extended. Could be the difference between you actually hitting the person that's attacking you and not being hit by them. So we call that range and reaching for that strike, nice and strong.
Range and reaching, okay.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna throw a couple of these, and then we're gonna get into our keeping distance 4. So we're gonna work this pretty simple on my count. We're gonna take the left hand, fist nice and tight, elbow low, out, twist, boom, and then back in nice and tight. All right, here we go. And 1, good. 2, good. 3, 4, and 5. Boom, good, nice. So now I'm just add one more punch behind this. This is our normal jab cross. And when it comes to self-defense, the goal is to simplify the self-defense so you don't have a bunch of things to think about. Okay. So this is just your basic 1-2, your basic jab cross. So from here, just same thing. I'm gonna throw the left arm out, leaning forward. Now, I'm gonna take my right shoulder, same thing, push that right hand forward, push that left shoulder back, and then pivot that right foot on the ball of that foot. Boom, just like that, and then all the way back. Now, with that back foot, like even in our Karate Kids program, we call this squishing the bug. So from here, same thing like the left jab.
I'm just kidding. Unless it's an attacker.
Right. So same thing here, as you see your reach. Now take your right foot and just pivot that right foot, push all the way forward. Same
Gives
concept.
You a little more.
Same concept. And again, when it comes to self-defense and fighting, it's a game of inches. So any advantage that I can give you to be able to defend yourself and get home safe, that's the goal. All right, so we're gonna throw this quick jab cross to this 1-2. Okay. Nice and slow, and 1, right hand 2. Boom, good, bring it back. 1 and 2. Good, and 1, 2. Boom, just like that, easy peasy.
So you work with local law enforcement here in the Gallatin area. A lot of times there's no way to prep and set up and hit. Like, what are some tips that you offer to people who may find themselves in a situation that they don't want to be in?
Very good. So one thing we talk about a lot is situational awareness. And sometimes what happens over time with training, your body gets into these rhythms or patterns and do things almost instinctually. So think about whenever you're in an altercation, you feel uneasy. Generally, your hands will start to come up and kind of get to your face. So similar to that fighting sense, what I tell like our students, especially our women, when they feel uneasy, natural action, your hands start coming up, you start kind of clutching, protecting yourself. It's starting getting those hands up here, and then very quickly I can slide that right foot back. And we're right back where. There you go.
Right where you need to be.
Right back where we started with just few subtle movements. And the average person that's going to attack it, they're not going to know that this may seem weak and feeble, but in a split second, I can turn and be able to strike from that position there as well.
Is there a mental state that you need to be in? Because again, in that moment, first word that comes to mind is fear. You're in fear, you're terrified.
Right.
All you have to, I guess, to remember is to fight.
Yes. In a perfect world, trying to be in a state of forever readiness, it's not realistic. Like, I have family and I have quite a few kids, so I think about the average person that's at the stores out and about with kids, you know, the hums and bums of the week. So cell phone in the hand, you got your list, you got kids getting into the car. You're not thinking of, hey, being aware of your surroundings and things of that nature from there, but that's where training comes into place. So over training, what happens is we put our students in, we try to inoculate a high stress drilling situation so that their first time being in that stressful situation isn't out there, it's in here. Right. In this controlled environment where you're able to get some of those jitters out and then build from there.
Okay, now, Righteous, so say they're not taking a class, they're seeing this for the first time, really getting that thought, well, maybe I should. What's something that would help them now if something like this happened tomorrow?
So first thing we talk about is situational awareness. Is wherever you are, be aware of your surroundings. Sometimes it's like that gut feeling. You go somewhere and you kind of feel uneasy, something's off. Start looking at your surroundings. And a lot of times when it comes, you gotta understand when it comes to self-defense, you're behind the 8 ball already. If the attacker, the bad guy wants to harm you or harm someone, he already has a plan in his head of what he's gonna do. And then from the moment of that interaction, you're playing catch up from there. So be looking at your surroundings. Like my family comes from the military, so I was always taught things of back into your parking spaces backwards. When you go into restaurants, don't sit with your back to the door. So it's almost instinctual for me kind of at this point. And especially when I'm with my family, I'm always looking around and seeing what thing doesn't fit. Okay. And it seems like it's something that you have to look at everything, but the things that don't fit stand out and they're glaring. Okay. But normally what happens is our instincts will talk us out of it. Go, something's off. No, that's just me. I didn't have too much coffee this morning. In all actuality, that could be very thing that the distance between you actually realizing the threat beforehand or immediately playing catch up.
Trust your gut.
Yes, absolutely.
What can parents advise their children?
So similar concept, even kids to a certain degree, they have this kind of similar gut instinct, but it's lessened to a certain degree. So I encourage parents to have that conversation with the kids beforehand. Hey, don't talking to strangers, stay close to mom and dad when you're out and about. Don't run, 2 hours over because you want to get to your favorite cereal. Even little things like that, having that conversation early rather than later can go a long way.
Thank you so much for all of this information. And if you're in the Gallatin area, you do have Impact Martial Arts and Self-Defense Academy here for you. So if you have any questions, they've encouraged you to reach out to them. Am I correct in that?
Absolutely.
We said that yesterday, so I hope I'm not wrong in saying that again today. And if you're not in this area, do reach out to maybe an academy there in your area or a location offering self-defense classes, because it is most definitely worth taking one or two. Thank you so much, Righteous, for sharing this with all of us. We appreciate that. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Riley, a certified physician associate here at Premier Foot and Ankle Centers of Tennessee. We have a couple locations, Murfreesboro, McMinnville, as well as Franklin. We treat people of all ages. We're excited to get you back on your feet and hope we can help you today.
Call us today to schedule an appointment. We look forward to seeing you.
Because here at Premier Foot and Ankle, we believe that
the journey begins with happy feet.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
So, you want to be a part of the Busy Bee team, huh? Well, how do you see yourself fitting into the organization? Oh, I get it. You want to be a weather bee.
Check out the kickoff to this year's Artsville Fest 2024. Seats were full at the Emerald on Tuesday night to kick off this week-long arts festival in the Clarksville area. You'll find local talent in areas of art, music, culture, live performances, and so much more throughout the week in the Clarksville area. Artsville Fest director and owner of Clarksville's Art Link, Maria Haycraft, shares her astonishment at the growth of this festival in its 4 years.
It's nuts. I never thought in a million years that I'd be doing A, an art festival. B, this started out as the Little Chalk Walk Festival. I don't know if you guys remember that. That started in 2017, and it just has morphed into this large thing that I'm baffled. Community wants it, and I'm here to make sure that it stays. Saturday's the big festival day. We're shutting down the streets, Main Street from 4th Avenue all the way down to the downtown commons. We've got 10 community art projects. We have over 75 vendors. We have food trucks. We have 2 stages with performances all day long. There's so much stuff, you don't want to miss it. So the event is from 10 to 6 Saturday. We'll see you there. My hope is that it keeps growing and that it keeps sustaining, that our community keeps loving it, and we could keep bringing unique things each year. I love to add something new or different each year, so it's not always the same, because that's what art is. It evolves always, right? And every year we try to do something unique and different with that, and that's my goal. So if you want to get involved in any capacity, just send us an email. artsvillefest@gmail.com would be the best. And if you want more details, you can go to artsvillefest.com.
Let me stress again that you can look in your area to see what's provided as far as a self-defense class. Either your local law enforcement could help with that, or one of the studios, the martial arts studios in your area, may be able to provide direction to you where you live. As always, thanks for joining us here at Mornings on Main Street. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
He's an after-luncher. He's a football game half-timer.
All right, boys, it's time.
She's a coffee breaker. Oh, careful. I've got this. She's a whenever I can get 5 minutes-er. Whenever you like to bank, Ascend's app has you covered. Transfer funds, apply to loans, do banking stuff.
I'm a banking person-er. Is that okay?
Yep, come on in. Ascend Federal Credit Union.